Welcome back to another episode of Tune In to TurnFit with David and Rob.
Good morning or afternoon or night,
Yeah, it
depending
depends when you're listening.
where and when you're listening during
Yeah.
quarantine day number. What are we at now? Like, I guess when do we start this shit, man? When like some of the rest of the world started at a different time, but I think
I don't know. It seems like we're on week 4 or 5. Feels like forever, actually. It's almost the end of April. It's crazy.
Is it the end of April almost?
Well, 22nd today, which I consider like it's very close to. Like I remember it was just April Fools like the other day. It felt like, and I was hoping that this was a big joke.
Not a big joke, man. It's not a big joke. I just know what day it is based on like certain bookmarks. It was like supposed to be 420. I mean, it still was 420,
Yeah.
but the actual thing of 420 was Monday.
I didn't even pay attention to that. I think since it's, especially in Vancouver, since it's like legalized, I don't think people care as much anymore.
No, I don't know. People fuck care, man. I don't know. Like, well, I'm in the West End, right? So, like, for those listening who may be unaware, Vancouver annually this has a growing festival, 420. The reason that it's celebrated on a 420 for people who indulge in cannabis is that is the police code for a marijuana-related offense or smoking weed, I think. That's the police code, so there's a 420 in progress. So, again, there's a festival, April 20th, people smoke weed. I live in the West End, and it's a huge thing at Sunset Beach that annually, like, everyone gathers, and they have, like, illegal shops set up, and it's grown to the point where, like, famous rap artists perform. I think last year was E40, which I was, like, super upset that I missed, because one of my favorite songs is Yep. And then I think the year before that was Chef Raekwon from the Wu-Tang Clan. I fucking forget it was like the year before. Maybe it was like, it wasn't Snoop. I don't think it was Snoop, but
yeah. That's wicked. Yeah, I didn't know it was like that built up. Here in Kits, it's kind of quiet. Yeah, and I know it was more to like celebrate slash bring awareness and attention and hope to get it legalized. So well done, people, because at least in Canada, we're doing a good job on it regulated and it's legalized. Other parts of the world, not so much.
Yeah, it works. My major concern was, again, we're all stuck and we're all like we're getting hit like hard financially, mentally, that sort of stuff too. So I'm glad to see that like things were put in place. I mean, they rescheduled it to, I think it's October 24th.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I think it'd be the other 420. So they moved it to October, barring that we're like, things are somewhat back to normal.
Yeah, hopefully then. There's a whole bunch of things events just getting pushed. I heard even for Vancouver recently, the celebration of lights with all the fireworks, that's pushed back a little bit or postponed.
Yeah, that's the one that like, sorry, it's got super ADD. So sometimes I just like jump in there. I think you and I are very similar. We're like, we have a thought and we just want to like jump in there, which is really funny because I'm a huge fan of like the Joe Rogan podcast, which I'm pretty sure like every podcaster who's starting out, that's their go-to. And it was just like, what's it called? Donnell Williams, who plays like Ashy Larry from like Chappelle Show fame. He was on there and he's kind of doing like the same shit. Like Rogan was saying something. He's like, yeah, just trying to like cut in or whatever. But yeah, anyways, yeah, I was upset that the festivals of lights were postponed. I understand it, of course, because they don't. I guess they want to like not promote any sort of opportunities for people to flock. But I don't know. I mean, I'm not unsure of the logistics, but I felt that was probably something that should have like continued in like a time like this. Like,
yeah, they could have probably done it and we could have watched it from our houses and stuff. But you know what? There are a lot of silly people out there that are like, they think this is a hoax or whatever, and they'll gather. And yeah, we don't need any kind of Florida incidences where like everybody's just rapidly going to the beach and they're like, yeah, it's fine, it's perfect. Like, no, it's not perfect yet.
Well, and from an economic standpoint too, I'm sure the city doesn't want to be spending money on like a bunch of fireworks when literally
true, it's not necessary. So yeah, you know what? We'll watch a fireworks show from a previous year online.
Yeah, it's just do it online. I watched Cirque du Soleil online. That was cool. That was actually like a nice thing they were offering. And then celebrity chefs are offering cooking classes online. So I know that's on like my my bucket list. Have you made, so that's one thing I did. I'm talking like with like people like close to me and like certain clients that like, have you made like a quarantine chore list or like a quarantine bucket list of like the top 5 to 10 things you'd like to see David Turnbull like come out of this with?
You know what? Actually, I haven't. I've been just too busy, as you know, like just redeveloping our whole industry kind of thing. But if there is extra time, I will start one. Do you have one so far, Rob?
I got a few things. So like, what is it? Let me see here. I wanted to start the podcast.
Yeah. Okay. That was one of them. Yeah.
Check. Get good at or improve my like boxing and kickboxing skills. So I bought a punching bag, and I did it like in anticipation the whole world's gonna fucking panic and like raid Amazon. So like they're finally starting to like trickle bags back in. You can still get it on like sites like Everlast, and there's like, you know, your top of the line bags like Fairtex and what's it called? Ringside, but like it costs a pretty penny. So I got like one of these like fill your up bags, which is cool. And then I got like what's called a wrecking ball punching bag, a Miley Cyrus punching bag for like headshot. Yeah. So I'm doing that. Sign up for like a little course. So that's number 2. Number 3 is I'm going to try to do my best to be able to perform the splits. That's a lifelong dream.
That's a hard one. That's a hard one. I tried that almost every year for the last few years, and so far my body's just not capable yet. It always triggers another injury. For me, it's actually my hips. It's my hips.
Is it your hips? I don't know. You should just like do kickboxer style and just get someone to like tie you to a tree. Seen that shit? Remember Kickboxer?
No.
No, and like so Van Damme like goes to Van Damme. Okay, for those like Van Damme aficionados, everyone knows what I'm talking about. So like, and now they made like a bunch of sequels after like 20 years, and like GSP and like Batista's in them. But yeah, so in like the original movie, his brother gets like crippled by this like Muay Thai guy because he's American kickboxer, and they go to like Thailand, way different styles. So then like to avenge his brother's being crippled, he like seeks out this like Thai master, and then he like there's just this fucking scene where they time the like 2 bamboo trees, and he's literally like suspended in midair, and like they're just pulling on this like wire, and he's just like, you know, kind of
like fun.
On the kitchen counter. So I just want to be able to do the splits in tighty whities on my kitchen counter, like Van Damme from Time Cop. That's the goal. That's number 3.
Go.
Yeah,
you can get there.
Yeah.
It's like just a consistency, daily, consistently trying to do it. Pretty much anything anybody can achieve. They just have to be consistent at it. So that's good. I'd like to see you be able to do that. I don't care to watch you do it in your underwear, but
yeah, that could like be an offshoot of maybe a different business endeavor that I may start up since everyone's online. So
yeah, make some extra income. Who knows? Whatever.
Yeah, what's that site? Fans Only. It's starting to get really popular.
I don't know.
Fans Only. No, you know, we should start a TurnFit Fans Only page. Well, it's basically like it's an in between like porn and not porn. Yeah, you can type up on Instagram. You have to have like 10,000.
Well, we could get a lot of viewers then, I think.
Yeah, so it's yeah, right. Well, if anyone's seen our our sex sells TuneIn To TurnFit post, or you and I are both topless. Yours is a little more erotic than mine, I feel. Then you can like literally just have that picture, Dave, and then you just swipe up and it's fans only, and then like there's more private photos that your fan base pays on a subscription basis to see that's not on your regular content. So it's a way for like people that individuals to make money off of clearly like image-based world we live in, and not have to like
it's a good residual income, I'd say. Yeah, you do something once and then forever it pays you money.
Yeah, no, people are just making a killing off this stuff. Sex sells, right? So no one has to resort to like cam porn anymore, right? So like fans only things. So
yeah.
Which is cool to see, like, the evolution of the internet, right? Because, when everyone, like, good old, like, when this first came about, everyone had dial-up, and you had to wait to, like, watch somebody's stream.
The dial-up days was terrible. I can't believe, like, even right now I get frustrated, not talking about porn, talking about even just any videos loading or uploading videos, like when it's slightly lagging right now, because I know all internet providers pretty much worldwide are throttling the internet every now and then. So sometimes it'll be perfect, sometimes not. But could you imagine being stuck in the days when you had your Nokia phone, that little brick,
Oh,
and your dial-up internet?
old school cute, like the square phone
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
in Die Hard and shit.
yeah.
Yeah,
Like it'd
okay.
be cool, but like, or even the long distance minutes. Like I don't even think like for forever it seems like we haven't had to pay for long distance because everything's either through the internet or every carrier is like, okay, yeah, free international calling, free calling. Like, can you imagine like being stuck back then where you're like, okay, I actually am quarantined to my house. Like there's nobody I can talk to. I can't get online. If I pick up the phone, it hangs up the internet. Like,
I think that's my mother. I think my mom just like she's like yeah, she still has like a long distance plan. I'm pretty
oh
sure.
my God.
Yeah,
You should tell her that she doesn't need that anymore.
yeah,
Set up a phone system for her.
yeah. She's old, man. She's old and like third world Filipino and stuff. Like I still got to go over there and just like punch in her Netflix password for her because it's like sometimes like kick her out because she's got too many streams going on. I'm like, how many Netflix things do you need to be on? You live in like a bachelor suite. You have to have like 3 TVs. Like,
She likes her TV. Well, you know what? It's that generation that liked having the TV on in every single room too, right?
I'm
So
that person. Yeah, I have to. That's my white noise. Like, I have to sleep with the TV on. Like, I can't. I don't know. I'm like a busybody person. Like, I like to hear the noise. Like, I would just like love to like, like live in like a busy. So like, I live in Vancouver. It's mellow, man. Like, it's not loud. I don't know. I like a loud city and stuff. So like, like I'd be like totally at home in like in New York. Not now though, but I just like that chaos. I don't know. It's maybe the way I grew up. Like, I grew up in like I don't know, like an apartment in like so my mom raised me. She's a single mom and stuff. So like we lived in like the Manitoba housing system, like a subsidy. I was just used to like chaotic fucking noise, like all the time, like kids and cars and people screaming at their boyfriends and shit like that. So like
yeah,
yeah. Anyways, so I like to sleep with the TV on.
yeah. I personally would do that as well. I like actually fall. I find it really relaxing falling asleep to the TV. Like lots of times I'll be falling asleep. Jessica will be like, turn off the TV, and all of a sudden I wake up and I'm like, oh, I was still watching that. She's like, no, your eyes were closed and you were snoring. So I'm like, no,
Yeah,
but I liked it. It was kind of like soothing. It was
yeah.
affecting my dreams. I was having some good dreams going on. Even as I'm gaming, like I picked up gaming recently, last week. Some of the games I haven't played in like 10 years, but even as I'm gaming on my laptop, I turn on the TV to like The Office or something that I don't really have to pay attention to. I don't know. I just like that extra noise or stimulation. I know it's
Please,
probably not good for you.
please tell me you're not drinking a Slurpee while you're.
Okay, there was that one time I did, and then you know what? That was after our last podcast when I talked about it. So I Googled how much that big Slurpee would be for calorie wise.
Can I
It was,
guess?
yeah, guess.
It's 2 liters. You said, right?
Yeah, it was about 2 liters. It's the biggest one you can get of
Oh,
Coke.
I really pride myself in the ability to guess. I'm gonna say it was. Oh, let me think. 1,680 calories.
Oh no, it was way better than that. Think about it. Most of it's ice, so it's like a Coke with ice. So I'd say half of it would be real Coke, half of it's ice.
Okay.
So it's equivalent to a Big Mac, I guess, ish. It said like 550 or 600 calories for that one, which actually surprisingly wasn't that bad.
That's
So
not bad. A big. It's more like I think 9 or 11. I think.
yeah, like I think if I filled that 2 liter with just Coke straight, then it would be like over 1,000 calories. But since I guess half of it's ice, I tried to make my own kind of at home. It didn't work out. I took a bunch of ice, blended it, tried to put some drink in there. It tastes like crap.
Which is cool that you can like reference this stuff. Of course, I guess they have to like have like an aware, educated population, but just the shame sometimes, like ordering Dairy Queen, and it's like 1,200 calories for a fucking blizzard. I had no idea, and then even when
Yeah.
I'm still eating it, I'm like, okay, all right.
Well,
Let's
then you
just
might appreciate it more if it's like that 1,200 calories. I always try to look up things, even like if I want to McFlurry or something like that, I'll be like, okay, which one? I need about 500 calories. Oh, okay, that one will fit. So, yeah. I tried also another good one that kind of tastes okay. Like if you want to be healthier and have a healthier Slurpee, crush a whole bunch of ice and then add some essential amino acids and then some water. that actually turned out wicked.
Yeah, that's a good idea. I know that's one thing I do when I'm like having like, because I've just like, I don't know, woken up the beast. I've summoned the beast that is the sugar addiction. So I just find myself like craving for sweet things. So I know I'll try. Like I started getting the bad habit of like drinking like 3 or 4 pre-workouts, which is not good.
In wait, 3 or 4 right before you work out?
No, just throughout the day. You know,
Oh.
yeah,
You're gonna fry those adrenal systems.
it's just it's just fucked, right? Because clearly I'm not set up, I'm not prepared, which is what we preach, is to be prepared for these certain things. And then like I mean, we're finding out different things about ourselves, right? Or we're like waking up past things about ourselves because we have a lot of time on our hands and we're not used to our everyday routine, right? So things are different. And then I just find myself like craving sweet things, which I like aggravated, and then like the trainer in me is just like, no, go for a different alternative. You need something sweet, but don't do this. And then like, I don't have any like, I don't have any like sugar-free Tang or anything. Is that still a thing? Tang?
It is a thing, but I don't think I've ever actually had it. I've had Kool-Aid, but not
Okay.
Tang.
Kool-Aid's great. I don't know if it's like a Filipino thing. My mom used to always have Tang. Or is that an American thing? It was like Tang, like that, not Spam, but then the other Spam, like the Canadian Spam. Click. Yeah, Click. And then
That's a Winnipeg thing.
yeah, yeah, for sure. Definitely.
It's actually pretty good. I don't know. I haven't eaten in a while. I don't know if I bought it now and ate it, if I would like it or not.
Yeah, which I'm surprised I haven't resorted to the point where like I started getting Click again. I haven't let Click enter my life. But yeah, going back to the point, like I have sugar cravings, so that I'm not set up for success and not having like the right sweetener stuff. So yeah, I've been I'll pound back like 3 pre-workouts, which probably explains why my legs been twitching.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Well, go to the store, get some essential amino acids. I have like 3 bottles of different flavors because I have a sweet tooth as well. So these ones are sweetened, I think, with stevia or something else similar. But I bought grape, I bought watermelon, and lime. So then I just fill up my 2-liter water bottle and then just drink that because I'm bored of drinking just straight water, even though water is good for you. But
right. So yeah, going back to the video game thing, if someone told you that like you could play video games again, which you're doing, but you could only have 3 games that you can play, your 3 favorite games all time, what would those games be?
well, for sure, right now I play StarCraft, the second version, and I play exclusively just one map, Nexus Wars. And the little kid in me comes back because I like winning. I only play games that I know I can win at. So I'd play that. I'd play GoldenEye because I can dominate. I have it all memorized in my head, every starting location.
See, I think I have to play because I am the self-proclaimed best GoldenEye player of all time.
Okay, when this is over, I have a 64. We'll play it because you won't beat me.
Yeah, okay. And there's someone else that I worked with, Brent Hayden, who's like the bronze. I'm saying this because I'm going to call him out, the bronze medalist, Olympic bronze medalist swimmer. And I did like a photo shoot for his clothing brand, and like he's into GoldenEye too. And I remember he like threw out like a Facebook challenge, and then I threw my name in the hat. We never followed up because I think that he ended up like, I don't know, he's a busy person clearly. So we should arrange like
we'll have to get a match settled. I think how it would go down is the first person to kill each other, that would probably be the winner because like again, if I kill you, I know all the starting locations. So the time you get more gear or weapons, you'd be dead again. If you kill me, probably the same thing.
Yeah. Who's your guy? What do you like to use?
Well, if I want to be cheap, I'd be Oddjob, the shortest character in the game.
What, right?
If I wanted to be a dick, then I'd be, what is that tallest guy? Like, I can't remember this.
Live and Let Die? The voodoo guy?
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, I'd be him. And my favorite weapon would be proximity mines. Because then I could just chuck that on all the starting locations and then just wait. And then when you spawn, it's like, boom, dead, boom, dead, boom.
What was the best play? My favorite, what was it? Was it called the facility or the faculty?
Facilities with the bathroom, that was the favorite. Yeah, there's that trick where you could go on the toilet and spin around, go in the vents.
Yeah, the facility with landmines is one of like the best, like.
Okay, we'll play that one. That's my favorite one. I even modded it before. I don't think I have it anymore, but I had like a Game Shark back then where you like on multiplayer, you couldn't go past those other doors to get access to the other level. But with the Game Shark, you could cheat it and go way past in the facility. So I can't remember what part of the level it is, but
Yeah, I wonder who of our 5 listeners is tuning out right now since we're fucking nerding out like.
Sorry, guys. Well, okay, so one more game would be Duke Nukem for the 64 then.
Which one?
Duke Nukem
Oh,
for the
fuck.
Nintendo 64.
I haven't heard that phrase in a long time.
That's a good one.
I forget if I like that game. GoldenEye is my number one for sure.
That's your number one? Okay, what's your number two?
I think it's San Andreas.
Oh, that's a good one, yeah.
Yeah, Grand Theft Auto. And then I don't know, third one's a tough one. Do I go like, because I was like huge Madden freak, and actually I think that's what ruined my early, like that's actually the one that like caused me to quit. You know what I mean? Like if you had an addictive personality, everything was like a gateway, and then you just like OD'd on stuff. And you're like, yeah, I need to like stuff. That's the one that like broke everything. I'm like, because I would just plug away at like 16 hours, which is kind of regret that now, like, 10, 15 years later, they have like Madden tournaments. So I should probably, I don't know. I was like, do I do it? But then it's just so advanced.
Yeah.
Like it's just crazy. Like I would have so many, like I would just be like a brown belt again or an orange belt. I don't know. So I'd have to invest a lot of time. But yeah, anyways, what is my third? I don't know. That's a tough one. I'd probably have to go like Street Fighter, but Street Fighter 2 Turbo. I think that would be it.
Yeah, that'd be another good one. I like games like that where you can be kind of good, and you can walk away from it. Like other games nowadays, like Warcraft, League of Legends, stuff like that, you have to be good forever and you have to constantly play. Where we could pick up these games that we haven't played in 20 years and still remember. I still have some of the cheat codes remembered for like Twisted Metal. Do you remember that for the PlayStation?
Yeah, I played that one.
Yeah, so like I know that like L1, R1, up, down, left, right, left, down, up. As you're holding a couple other buttons, you get more weapons. Anyways, that's how weird. I have to win. That's what it is. I just have a winning.
Holding it, you just start like you start punching it in. That's like the Contra code, like up, down, left, right.
Yeah.
So like that was almost like that was just like a fucking melody. Like literally, like they almost taught that in music class. You just memorized it. But then I don't know where. But then I don't know where the fuck I put my keys half the time. But I can pick up a Nintendo controller and remember some fucking code from Contra from 1986.
Yeah, that's my memory goes to the old school stuff too. But yeah, you'll ask me, what did you eat yesterday or even an hour ago? And I'll be like, that all blurs together. I don't know.
Right. Yeah. So I was super upset that like when we moved here, well, I moved here first and then my mom followed suit. And then like I left all my stuff back in Winnipeg and I was just like, you know what? Like, and I had like a PS3. I was thinking about getting a PS4, but it's just nice to have like, the nostalgic Nintendo. And then like a few years ago, there was a resurgence and they have like little mini models. And then I was trying to look for it. And she's like, yeah, I gave it away. And I'm like, I was like so upset. She's like, I'm like, do you not know? And like, you would appreciate this. And some listeners may appreciate this. So like in my Nintendo collection, like I had the original authentic before he raped his like girlfriend, Mike Tyson Punch Out. Like that was in there. I had Battletoads, Ninja Gaiden. And speaking of games that like I like to play that I couldn't beat, there was just one fucking game in the original Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Like I just hated that game, so it always gets stuck on like the third level, and there's just this one jump I couldn't do. Maybe someone else got past it for the level. I don't know. But Battletoads. What else did I have? RC Pro-Am, Excite Bike. I just
what about Killer Instinct? Did you have that for the Game Boy?
For 64.
Oh, for 64, huh? Yeah. I have the old school Game Boy, like sitting right across from me. I can pull it all out. I have the original Game Boys, even the magnifying glass. I have the original Nintendo, original Super Nintendo, original PlayStation 2. Like I'm a collector, so I have all that stuff and the original games. So yeah. You'll have to come over after this, and we'll nerd out.
Yeah, right. We just got to keep 6 feet away from. Okay, do you remember when they came out with the? No wait, what am I thinking of here? Nintendo had like the gun
for Duck Hunt.
yeah, but there was like 3 games they fucking made. But then they came out. I think it was in like 1992. They came out with this headset version.
I never tried that.
Yeah, and I got it from the States. So you talk into it, and I would just like cuss and say all sort of obscenities, and it would just like shoot. It was terrible, but it was just kind of fun having the headset on and being a kid, and just swearing at the thing, and still missing, of course. Did you ever
away from the video games in normal life? Just right now, I'm finally getting back into them as the whole world's kind of like doing whatever. I have an addictive personality, so I try to put that stuff away.
Yeah, I can't have it. Did you ever just be so mad at Duck Hunt that you just walked up to the screen and just put the gun in the corner of the TV and just
Yeah.
wait for it to show up? Like, man,
Yeah, and you're like, come on, it's rigged. Yeah. Well, even as a kid, I even cut the cord to it. I was kind of disappointed. I was like,
nice.
I need that, so I had to fashion it back up again.
Do you remember that? Do you remember that movie with oh god, what the hell is his name? I used to get teased because my last name is Moal, and he had the big mole and like Goldmember, and he was on the Wonder Years. Fred Savage. Fred Savage. Do you remember the movie The Wizard that came out in like 1989? And it was like
Not,
when they did Super Mario 3, and it was like the biggest thing in the world.
I don't remember it.
You remember that movie? Oh, it was huge because it was like Mario 3 was like the biggest game because I think it was the last. I think that was the last Mario Brothers that was made for the original Nintendo, right? I believe.
Yeah.
And then they came out with like Dr. Mario, like
Yeah.
a year later, and then I think it was '92 they came out with the Super Nintendo, and they had like Super Mario World or whatever. So yeah, it was the last like Mario Brothers. Those, and then like they made this movie about like starring Fred Savage and like Beau Bridges, and it's like this half retarded brother of his that's just like fucking freak at video games, and he can't talk, and he's like locked up and stuff, and they like kidnap him because there's this huge video game tournament, and there's like a mystery game, and it ends up being like Super Mario 3, and he has to like play against this cool guy named Lucas. No,
I don't remember any of that. I don't know how I skipped it. Like,
yeah, you gotta watch that shit. And they gave you like at the theater, they gave you this free little like Nintendo pamphlet. I still have it. I wonder if that's worth anything. Probably not. I keep a lot of like.
you know what? It could be. Check it out. I'll have to YouTube it and check and see. Maybe I saw it and my memory's just failing me. But
Maybe.
speaking of Nintendo, on Amazon Prime, if you look, the old school, do you remember the Mario Brothers, where it was partial cartoon and partial real characters? Super Mario from 1989, I think, is on Amazon Prime. I started watching it. I only watched one episode, but
Yeah, and it was like it was with fucking Captain Lou Albano from wrestling.
yeah, yeah. So
Yeah.
it's actually pretty cool. So there's lots of old school stuff coming back on TV. So anybody that likes the old school stuff, you have to see it.
The movie they made was terrible. Do you remember that one? With,
I
like,
don't think I watched the movie. Probably if it was terrible, that's why.
yeah, it was like Dennis Hopper played Koopa, and then Bob Hoskins. I'm like I watch a lot of movies, everybody, so I just remember a lot of shit, especially from when I was younger. Bob Hoskins from Who Framed Roger Rabbit was Mario. I can't remember who Luigi was though, but yeah, it was just bloody awful. And then they came out with like Street Fighter 2 with Van Damme. That wasn't good. Oh, and then Double Dragon. They had the Double Dragon movie.
Okay, I don't know if I watched the Double Dragon movie, but that was another favorite video game for the original Nintendo.
Yeah, that was good. I had that one. That's why I was so upset because I had that too at Double Dragon, and then my mom just gave it away. And I'm like,
I don't think I actually ever beat the game. Did you beat the game? I made it pretty far, but I've never beaten the game.
I definitely beat it. No, I definitely beat it, but I didn't beat it till I was an adult.
Yeah, you know, if I go back and do it, I might be able to. But
yeah, there's certain games that like I would play as an adult and I would beat it, and then there were certain games when I was a kid I was like a pro at, and then when then I went back to it, I'm like, why am I just awful at this game now? I'm just terrible. Like, what was it? Like Super Adventure Island. I hated that game. It's one game I couldn't because they gave you like one continue.
yeah, and they're like, okay, well, it's useless.
And it was like 20 something fucking levels. And I'm like, who is gonna beat this game?
The Super Advance.
Yeah. Crash Bandicoot was cool. That was a good one.
I didn't care for that one. But then the newer games, they're not even newer. Tony Hawk was good. Some of the downhill snowboarding games were cool.
Yeah,
but those are for PlayStation, getting kind of newer. But
yeah, I used to get really stoned and play Blades of Steel with my buddies, and they were just terrible. And I would just try to like start a fight with them. This was cool.
to see
Everyone
who's
thought
better.
terrible. I hated that game. I thought it was just awful. Because if you're Bo Jackson, you just beat everyone. You just like ran across the screen. No one can catch you. It was just ridiculous.
Yeah. Some games there are pretty cheap. Like once you figure it out.
Yeah, no, man, I can't get back into that. I don't know. I just can't do it because if I do, like life as we know it is over. Like I won't even like answer the phone. I won't even talk to you like half the time. I'm like, sorry.
Yeah, that's why I stick to my one game right now. It's just StarCraft. I can close the laptop at any time. Sometimes I
Yeah.
get pissed off a little bit, but then, yeah, I don't want to play video games too much. I don't want to. I keep my normal routine as much as I physically can.
Yeah, right. I'll end up looking like Ben Stiller in the movie Dodgeball, where he's super fit, and then you like go to the end of the movie and he's just super fucking overweight. That's always like seeing my future if I have a video
But we
game.
can make a documentary out of it. You could probably
Yeah.
get some good fans online now, at least. Back then, I didn't have any. There was really no YouTube or anything to document the progress. I wish I had that to prove people how good I was.
Yeah, right. This is just all folklore. Do you have like a map and a legend to this mystery? You know?
Yeah, exactly. There's no video, no footage, so you have to prove it. So as an adult, we have to replay.
Yeah, this is all hearsay, Dave. I remember like in high school too, like we would have like GoldenEye tournaments, it'd be all the nerds. But then like most people probably didn't realize that I was such a nerd because I was super overweight. And then I went to like, I was like ugly duckling syndrome. I'm not trying to like brag about how good looking I am, but I'm not the ugliest person. But then like, I was like more of the jock person. I went to high school, and I think it was like 1998. I'm like decked out in my Tommy Hilfiger and my muscles, and they had this like GoldenEye tournament. I just destroyed all those fucking nerds. Like I just destroyed them. But I don't think they saw it coming because they probably just thought I was a dumb meathead. Not saying I'm not, but like I was really good at GoldenEye. I like using Trevelyan, by the way, for the audience that like notice that I keep going in circles with this conversation. But Trevelyan was my guy, which is funny because I just watched GoldenEye like I think it was last Thursday. I think it's like my favorite Bond movie.
I haven't rewatched any of the old school Bond movies lately, but I did rewatch what I remember now is my favorite series, The Matrix. I watched the first one a couple days ago, and then I had to power watch and watch the second and third one like instantly. And
Yeah,
I'm like, yeah, I remember that was my favorite movie when it came out, and it still is now.
So it's funny. Like I'm a big Tarantino fan, and then I was reading this interview with him, and he goes through like they asked him what are his top 10 movies of all time, right? He's watches them, knows like he's very like like artist to the cinema, the art of cinema, and he throws a lot of stuff in there, different techniques going way back. He's a huge spaghetti western fan. But yeah, one of his favorite movies of all time, he lists as The Matrix. And I think we're very spoiled with the amount of content and stuff out there. But like, man, when you go back and like, I remember when I watched that movie, like the first time I watched it, like I was just super into it. And then he wakes up out of that little thing, and I'm like, what? Wait, what the fuck? Like I was on a date with a hot chick, and maybe I was checking her out too much, not paying attention. So I had to go back and watch it again. But I watched it at. Do you remember the Cinema City 8 movie theaters in Winnipeg?
Oh, yeah.
So for anyone who doesn't know, it's like the cheap theater you go to after. I don't know if those even exist anymore. Where like, if you go to the movie theater, it's $10, and if you wait, if you're cheap enough, you go like 6 weeks later, and it's like $2.50. And then if you're really fucking cheap,
if you have a coupon, you can get it for like 50 cents or something.
you go on the Tuesday, yeah, where it's like 50 cents or whatever. I was so cheap. I would wait for the people to leave the theater, and I would just like you just shimmy the door open, you just grab it, and you just pop in. Like I was just so cheap. I wouldn't even pay like $1.25 for a movie, but it was good because like I wasn't stealing. I watched the movie, and then I'm like, okay, I need to understand what the fuck's going on. So I went back, and I'm like, well, I'm not gonna pay for this again. So just pop the door open, and, like watched it a second time, and then I'm like, hey, I kind of get it, but I really want it to sink in. So I watched it like a third time. Because when it first came out, it was just like, it was one of the first of its kind, like, like the action sequences and, like Keanu Reeves could kind of act. I think it was like a really good role for him, because after watching him and Dracula trying to fake that British accent, like, and then Speed, it was just kind of like, okay, all right, but it's so good.
Yeah, it was good. So talking about the Matrix then, if you knew that was real, would you rather be on the outside in the real Earth or in the Matrix?
That's a good question. I don't know. I wasn't really like jiving what was got that going on, and their menus just look terrible. So like, do I get to make a deal like with I can't remember his name, the bald dude who was also in Bad Boys and he was in Sopranos? Do I get to make a deal like going back into the Matrix to be whoever I want?
Yeah, well, that was supposedly because that's what the one character did. He tried to do. I don't know. I don't know if I'd want to live in like the world that's kind of destroyed and like it's so ugly, or I'd rather be like, okay, yeah, Matrix, make me rich and famous.
Yeah, it was just very like post-apocalyptic, and then like it'd be kind of cool if you're in like the Road Warrior where you have like cool cars, but they were just like subterranean and they had like weird raves. and shit, and I'm sure they smelled funny, you know.
Yeah. Plus, they're always running away from everything. So I
Yeah,
don't know. It's bliss.
you're just running. Like I think that was a poor depiction of probably what was actually going on, like deep down inside. Like their skin probably couldn't have been healthy, for sure. Like I like healthy skin, so like
Yeah.
I don't know. And then I doubt they like have like razors for the most part. Like how do you shave?
Yeah, that's true. Well, you know what? They have the technology to build those crazy ships, so I'm sure they can figure out shaving.
Yeah, that's what I like about John Wick, because then they have like some people from the Matrix in John Wick,
Yeah,
which is cool. Speaking of Keanu Reeves, that the ending of that third one was just awful. I did not like. I was very
I
over.
didn't see the third one yet, so no
Oh yeah,
spoiler.
the third one, shit. The third one's so cool because they have like then one of the main, like his main adversary is, and I can't even take it seriously because he's making these ridiculous faces throughout. But his main adversary is the host of Iron Chef America. So I don't know if you ever watched that show, but for those who don't know, he was actually like a Hollywood or like a Hong Kong action star, kung fu. But it's just funny because it's like if you watch Iron Chef, it's like okay, there's a guy from Iron Chef and he's like fighting Keanu Reeves. This is kind of weird.
Okay, I'll have to watch it. Is it on Netflix or Amazon right now, or
It's on Amazon. Yeah, it went to Amazon really quick. I think the second John Wick's probably my favorite. Like this one was cool. Like the action sequences were just ridiculous. It's like crazy knife fight. But I don't know. It was kind of at that point where like, yeah, you killed this dog, but then like
that was the sad part. I'm like, I think that was the first one, right?
Yeah, that's just
so yeah. I was like, you know what? I have more sympathy for animals. I'm like, okay, fuck that guy, kill him.
no, for sure. How is that like? How is that not one of like the coolest lines in like cinema history? When he's like, well, he's not exactly the boogeyman. He's the man you said to kill. Oh, I just love that's one of my favorite like monologues of any movie of all time because it's like the dude from like the European version of Girl with the Dragon Tattoo. Again, big movie nerd. Everyone listening. But yeah, so I can literally watch that. I can watch that sequence like so many that monologue of that scene like so many times. But
if you like famous lines, what about any of the Blade movies?
well, oh man, that's you know what? It's like, see, that's what I mean. There's so many movies that get lost in the shuffle that people don't really like talk about. Like when that first, like the impact, like maybe it's like us when we were younger. When Blade first came out, like you know, there's actually a really good documentary when they talk about you know the impact of comic book movies, and they actually really center in on Blade and like the impact that Blade made because you know you had like really for Marvel comics in particular, and like the more successful comic book movies that were created were mainly DC ones, right? Like you had you know Batman and Superman, and then there was a few other ones. I don't know what, like The Mask, for example. I don't know if that was DC. For those nerds, you can correct me on that. But you know, no, there were so many failed attempts at Marvel movies. Like I remember when I was a kid, they had those shitty Spider-Man movies where you had the, like there's like Spider-Man versus the Chinese Web or something, and then like they made some shitty Captain America movie, and then there was like I think your best ones were like the Hulk made for TV movies, and then there was this one ill-fated Fantastic Four movie they made that actually was never released. So before that, like Marvel had tried so many times to make a movie, and then Marvel had filed for bankruptcy, and that's when you saw them. They had to sell the rights to movies to get back up and running, right? So I remember like they were actually talking about Tom Cruise being casted as Spider-Man, but you won't remember that. So thank God that. But Blade was actually the first Marvel movie that actually was made and was actually good and successful. So in the Marvel universe, and we like now the highest grossing movie of all time was The Last Avengers. You know what I mean? Yeah. It actually made a pretty big impact, right? And then on top of that, it was one of like the first like black action heroes, you know, to be portrayed in that fashion. And then I think it was I think at one point in time it made the most money out of any R-rated movie. I think.
Yeah.
So
it was crazy. So for anybody that didn't watch it, go back and rewatch it.
Yeah. Funny enough, actually, a dear friend of mine back from Winnipeg, we used to work together at a call center. He was like an actor. He was a striving actor, and he could never make a break. And he was invited to this barbecue where he was supposed to meet someone to potentially be cast in a TV show. And then like he got stuck behind a train. and his like truck died, and it turns out it was actually the writer of Blade, the comic book series. He was actually from Winnipeg, from what I understand, or Manitoba, or whatever. So he ended up missing that, and he was supposed to be casted as like the bad guy because they made,
wicked.
yeah, they made like a Spike TV series of Blade. Is that still around, Spike TV, or is it something else now? I forget.
I don't know if it's still around, but I remember that network. Yeah.
Yeah, right. 1,000 Ways to Die. I always remember like that because there was some dude who was like addicted to alcohol, and the doctor told him to stop or he would die. So like he convinced his wife, because he read online that like alcohol can be absorbed like through the rectum. So he got his wife to put a beer bong in there and pour.
Oh my God.
What he didn't realize is that it doesn't go through the proper filtration process. It doesn't bypass the liver, so it goes straight to the heart. And he like literally had a heart attack. The cops show up and he's got this beer bong shoved up his hoo-ha. Jack Daniels next to him. Like I'm like, is that how I would want to go out? Is that how I want to be?
Somebody finding you like that, you're like, okay, no.
Yeah, and his wife's already in the room. Like I don't know if she covered that up for him. Like who knows what would happen? Imagine being that paramedic or police officer on the scene. God.
That'd mess you up a little bit.
Yeah, right?
Well, I think that a lot of people right now are rewatching shows or watching TV, even if you haven't watched in a while. So yeah, there's a ton of old stuff on there. Testing new stuff coming up. Your homework, I think we already talked about this, is you were to watch Tiger King. Did you watch any of that?
Fuck, dude, I did it like an exercise that I just hate, or like a group fitness class that I can't stand. I did it for like 5 minutes and I just walked out. I couldn't. I got to do it again though. You know what? I think since, like, we have a trainer on our staff, and he's very flamboyant and likes to dress up. Like for Halloween, he dressed up as like one of the best Elton John costumes I've ever seen. I truly feel that Addison should probably do a class dressed as like the Tiger King guy. I don't know.
Oh my God, yeah, he could probably pull it off.
Because he could probably pull it off. Like if there's one person I know that could probably pull that shit off, think of how popular we'll get, Dave, if we actually do like a 20-minute Tiger King tribute hit class.
I was just gonna say, okay, so let's task him with this after this call. We'll message him and be like, hey, do you want to do a hit Tiger King class?
Yeah. Because like everyone, like I mean, like the bunch of as much, how many times I saw someone doing like a toilet paper workout, and then they're still, I'm like, okay, this joke's just getting old. But maybe I'm unaware that has anyone capitalized on the Tiger King Tabata hit fitness class? I don't think so. I think we should be the first to jump in this pool.
we can try it, whether you like it or not. It's gonna happen.
Yes, just give him zero option, right? Like, let's see the outfits. Like, I don't know how flamboyant of an outfit does this have to be.
But you know what? On that theme, we should just do a whole bunch of series of just like maybe superheroes or other TV show people in our hit workout.
No, you're crazy.
But the audience has to dress up as their thing. So if we're training them and we're doing a Zoom call, it'll be like the superhero workout. We're all in superhero gear.
Are you trying to tap into like the cosplay market? Is that what we're trying to do?
Yeah. I think we're onto something. We'll just keep building on this idea.
Should it just be like cosplay? Because I can dress up like Guile, going back to Street Fighter 2. Like,
there you go.
Or I can get, when I was a kid, I had Fat Boy Spider-Man pajamas that actually still fit. Not the mask though. My head's way bigger now because I got that one. I was starting to drink a lot a few years ago, and I started to get that like Alec Baldwin, John Travolta bigger head thing going on. If I look back at pictures, I stop, so it doesn't fit anymore. But yeah, that'd be cool. And then like Addison has the guitar too, right? Like, doesn't the guy play like? I got that far in the show, Dave. We're like,
yeah, exactly. Well, okay, so you saw part of it. Okay, so if you don't want to watch Tiger King, what about the other series, the Too Hot to Handle? I think it's called.
Oh shit! What episode are you on?
I finished it. You know what? I'm addicted to anything. Once I start, I finish. So
I'm gonna try. Like I have to do that one in like intervals because I really feel like my intellectual energy has been depleted.
Yeah.
Like after I watch that.
Well, if you like stuff like that's like Big Brother or other things like that, then yeah, you'll probably really enjoy it. If you don't like that, you'll struggle to get through it. It's like we have to kind of watch these silly shows to keep up with everybody else because that's the only thing everybody's talking about online now. That's the only way we can socialize. It's not like, hey, did you see this outside or go to this play or did you travel or do this? It's like, what'd you do? I watched this series. So,
Yeah, right. Well, yeah, for those who are listening, like we're from Vancouver, so I think what people consider like the hottest girl on the show is from Vancouver too. So
yeah, Vancouver has that going for it. So
yeah, she's the toast of the town. She's the tip of everyone's tongue right now. No sexual innuendos intended, but like yeah, I think because even in the show, she had mentioned that she's got like 364,000 followers. I think she's definitely past like 1 million now. Not that I'm creeping or anything like that, but yeah. So I don't know. That show's odd though. Like literally, like you can't like you can't have sex.
You can't have sex. You can't kiss. You can't self pleasure.
Yeah, you can't flog the dolphin.
Yeah.
That is.
And I think it's only for a month. I was like, that it seems doable.
Yeah, I don't know. People can't even stay in their fucking apartments for longer than like a week before they're like running around the goddamn beach and stuff. Like, let alone.
Yeah. Okay, that's true. You got a point.
Yeah,
and like they don't press the red button, that's when you want to do something.
Right. Well, and that's the whole thing. How do they police that though? Because like for like any man who likes to, who doesn't have like a tube sock, they usually go in like the shower or something like that, right? Is there cameras in
I guess they probably have cameras everywhere and be like, okay, we won't show like the inappropriate footage on TV, but we'll know.
Like, is there a shower time limit? Like how clandestine do these like whack offers have to be, right? Like, is there a time limit to shower? Does it cut off? Do you have to like scrub and whack at the same time and like brush your teeth so they don't notice? You gotta like stick one in there. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, how are they gonna do?
I just can't get the shampoo out of the shampoo bottle.
Yeah, right? And is that why they place everyone in the same room? Like, I don't know if I would agree to that either. Like, fuck the whacking off. Like, if someone's snoring next to you, like, and then you have like 4 or 5 potential snorers, like how do you even sleep? You kind of have to whack off to pass out. You can't even like, I don't know.
Yeah, so obviously they made it quite interesting. I won't spoil it. Once you watch it, then we can talk more about it.
$3,000 for a kiss. I saw that.
Yeah, and that's not too bad, I guess, but still, it's coming out of like the whole. It's not even that much money. I think it was $100,000 in total.
Yeah, there was 10 people, right?
Yeah, and 10 people, so it depleted quite fast. And that's only in the first few days. Like, you only think that was the first couple episodes that you watched.
Yeah, right. Well, what's you know what I mean? Like, there's a group, and like I guess they do get paid to be on the show, but then at what point? Like, what's your dollar amount where you just say fuck it? You know what I mean? Like, like there's $100,000, so it's $10,000 each, right? Like when it's get down to 6, like when it does get down to 6,000, like 5,000, 4,000, where you just say screw it and have an orgy and just bang everyone in the room. Like, what's the number, right? Like, I don't know.
Yeah, what is your amount?
Right? Everyone like I don't know. I didn't get that far, but I don't know. If I were in that room, that's what I would.
It's basically you're paying for sex. Right? You're getting money, but then they're like, oh, no, wait, you don't get it because you just had sex. So basically you're paying for sex.
Yeah. So like, is it like reverse hooker shaming? Right?
I think that's what they tried to do. But you know what? We can take this principle and build off of it. How about we just train everybody for free? But if they don't do their homework or they miss a session, they pay us a crazy amount.
Well, which is funny, right? Because going back to podcast episode 2, we had a realtor that Dave knows. Acquaintance, or I forget if you worked with him.
John Tsai, yeah.
Yeah, but that's what he had mentioned, right? Like, he has a personal trainer, and they basically had like a wager going on that every time he was late or he missed a workout, instead of like, and the traditional model for everyone who has not worked with a personal trainer is that if you cancel or miss a workout within like a 24 hours, 48-hour period, you forfeit that session, right? Where they took it a step further, and then if he missed an own personal workout, he would have to pay his trainer. I forget what the number was. It $250?
It's like $300 or $500 or something like that.
Woo!
So, and that was his own personal workout. So imagine that. Yeah. You're paying for your own sessions, but if you don't prove that you're in the gym on a certain day at a certain time, you get fined. Maybe we have to start implementing that. You know what? We would get everybody rapid results. I know, because like, as a trainer, we get good results because we know we just go all the time. And if we don't, we lose those results. So,
yeah, right. I guess it's everyone's value system, I suppose, right?
Or we can pool it in a pot, and the person that goes and does everything that we ask, they get a portion of everybody else's fines.
Yeah, right. Like, it's like a swear jar.
Yeah, it's exactly that.
I think I need a swear jar. Just,
I think if anybody on the team, out of anybody, you need one. Yes, let's start one for you and see.
yeah, right. I wish when I was loading the podcast, I finally have it on Spotify. I think that was one of the questions. Like, is there explicit language? Blah blah. I'm like, yes. Is there like a range? Because like, it's definitely, if it's 1 out of 10, it's definitely up there.
Yeah. So do we get more points or less points for that?
Yeah, I feel like the majority of podcasts, for what I listen to, they just swear,
Yeah.
a lot, right? Oh, it's too hot to handle, too cold to hold. Is that the other tagline?
Could be, yeah.
Isn't that a Vanilla Ice song?
Yeah.
That guy?
Ice Ice Baby.
Yeah. Too cold. I don't know. Like, what's next? What was the other one? Because I was still trying to get through this other show called Love Island, which has been around for like a long time. They have weird.
Oh yeah, I never actually watched that one.
Yeah, you don't want to. Well, because as a manly of a man that I am, my guilty pleasure is like Real Housewives of New York. I love that show. It's just so good just to watch drivel. And then I've already plowed through most of them. So now the other person in my life is making me watch all these everyone's talking about. You gotta watch this show. What was it? Love Is Blind.
Yeah, that's another one.
Yeah, okay. You know what? I felt actually deceived because I know it's like Blind Date, but I thought like a cooler idea would have been if like the other person, like one person was actually blind, but like super hot. Like fucking smoke show, like 12 out of 10, but like blind. And then the other person was like super sweet, whatever, but like from conventional standards, like just a freak show, like Beauty and the Beast type thing. That's what I was getting into, where it was like Love Is Blind, and like, they would find love. One person's super, super hot and they don't know it. And then like the ugly person is just like super head over heels because like she's gorgeous or he's gorgeous, but like they can't see.
That's actually maybe submit that as an idea, because that sounds like a good show.
I was talking about that with one of our clients. I think that is my next network pitch. Because then we could do
I see those kind of people walking around, like when I was in Vegas the last time. I see those people, but you know what? I don't know if they're blind. I'm just like, whoa, that person's extremely good looking. He's really fat and old.
Every like fifth couple at Equinox. I think that's find them actually. I think that's a membership package. Do you want the premium package, or we pair you up with one of the hot members because you're really ugly, but I know how wealthy you are? Welcome.
Yeah, there's a whole bunch of new subscription options we have going for us now after this podcast.
Yeah, right. But then, like, they could totally do that show if it was Zoom. Like, we got Love Is Blind Zoom edition, Beauty and the Beast. They can have Zoom dates and.
Well, you can have you can have different dates. I've tried, or I haven't done it yet, but like I've done Zoom calls where we play video games like Jackbox TV and stuff. But now there's more people I hear doing Zoom and watching the show. So like you would be on the screen and we'd be watching the same show, and it feels like you're with people and you're kind of laughing around and stuff like that. I think that's interesting how technology is kind of pushing everything, because maybe you might be by your house or in your house by yourself, and now you can feel like you're having somebody else and having kind of like a date and you're both watching TV.
This is just the mind fuck. It's kind of like that movie Her. Have you seen that movie? It's made by Spike Jonze with I'm a movie nerd again. With Joaquin Phoenix, and then like he's in love with like Siri or Alexa, and then like Alexa is the voice of Scarlett Johansson.
Oh my god, no, I haven't seen that one either.
Yeah, it's a wild concept because it's pretty much what's happening right now. It's just funny. Like sometimes I'm so bored, I try to get like Alexa and like Siri to fight over me. Talk to them because I talk to maybe two people. That's how bored I am everyone. I just try to mention stuff.
Yeah.
Like Siri's like, Rob, do not talk to Alexa that way. Alexa's like, Siri, mind your own fucking business.
It'd be cool if you figure out a command and then they just actually start having a conversation back and forth. There's probably some kind of Easter egg or some kind of like hidden gem like that.
Yeah, right. If for everyone at home, if you turn on Alexa, I have a Fire TV, and if you turn on Alexa and you get her to look up porn, so say, hey Alexa, find porn. Alexa, the second option that comes up is actually Star Trek: The Next Generation.
That's odd.
Yeah, it was awesome, and I love Patrick Stewart. He's one of my favorite. But I'm like, what kind of is there some weird like Disney subliminal thing going on during Star Trek: The Next Generation that like only Alexa knows about. That like she just kind of like is just let me to be privy on. That I should now actually during quarantine watch all seasons of Star Trek: Next Generation and then now Picard, since they like have the spin-off. I'm just really curious.
And then from that, Seth MacFarlane created his own show that's not the exact same, but it looks very similar. I keep seeing ads on Amazon Prime as well for it.
Oh, he did?
Yeah. I can't remember what it's called, but go look. There's trailers, and it looks quite funny. I think I'm actually going to watch it.
What's it called?
I don't remember, but if you search his name on Amazon Prime, it will come up.
Oh, okay. Yeah, it's just like, and it's like, I didn't even know, like Family Guy, which is my favorite show. Like, I used to be able to, like, recite every line. It's like now, like, is it the 18th or 19th season? Almost feels kind of like the same time I decided to stop watching The Simpsons, which, like, what season? Are they on, like, season 49?
It seems like they keep going forever. Like, I stopped watching, The Simpsons and Family Guy, probably the same, like, when I moved away from Winnipeg, actually, because then I didn't have cable forever, so then I kind of lost interest. And then when I did get cable, I was like, forget about this. And I found a new show, Bob's Burgers. That's a good one.
That was cool. Who's the voice in that? Is it Norman?
The guy from Archer. Yeah.
Oh yeah, Archer. That was a good show. I tried to get into like the Mike Tyson mysteries that like I thought I would just be super just enthralled with it because I love Mike Tyson, but yeah, I don't know. And Robot Chicken was the other one. I used to love Robot Chicken.
Yeah, Robot Chicken's hilarious and very inappropriate for some people.
Is it called The Orville? Is that what this is called?
Yes, that's what it is.
Oh, Seth MacFarlane's actually in it.
Yep. I know. I'm like, he's in everything. And if you watch the preview, it's actually quite funny. So I was like, okay, I might get into this. But I keep forgetting to add it to my list. Usually Amazon's smart now, and they advertise to you as you're starting the next episode of a show.
Yeah, right? Adriana Palicki. I think she was actually in John Wick. She was. Okay.
Yeah, there's a decent amount of people in there.
It's one notch in your face. I always got to see the cast. I always have to see the cast. I'm like very prejudiced to the cast. And I know that's
sometimes it works out, sometimes it doesn't. If they're too good of a cast, sometimes it's complete garbage.
Yeah, for sure. Well, that could be preventing me from like actually having like more wonders and joys in my life from cinema, being so close-minded. But no, good. Yeah, very good point. Because it was like I started watching the show. I finished a show called Outsider. It's an HBO show based on Stephen King, and like it had what's his face from Ozark. Can't remember his name right now.
Oh, the main character, or
yeah. Who's like always in comedies. Why am I brain farting?
Yeah, I don't remember his name either, but I love that guy.
Yeah, no, so yeah, I love that guy, right? And then like, but now he's sort of like that one point in like Robin Williams' career where he started to do like more serious movies, and now he's sort of like in like these dark shows and shit. So like he's in this show, and then Ben Mendelsohn, who was in Bloodline, was in it. So I'm like, oh, okay, like here's a couple guys I like, and then like I don't know, I ended up just being super weird, and then they literally like kill what's his face from Ozark like 3 episodes in. It's like 10 episodes. I'm like, well, I kind of want to watch this anymore. Like I don't know.
But did you watch the newest season then?
Ozark? No, I'm still stuck, man. Like I don't know. Like I'm super ADD, and like again, we're just super spoiled with stuff. Like it has to be really like I don't know, something that just gets me. Like there's not. It's just like Daredevil season 2, Punisher season 1, like Breaking Bad, Dexter, like Stranger Things. Like I can just watch those like 50 times over. But if certain things don't get me, like they don't catch me, I'm just like, it was good. I don't know, like especially when you don't have as much time to invest. Like these people that I meet, they're like, oh yeah, I plowed through this show, and I watched like Game of Thrones. I'm like, what the fuck do you do with your time? Like I just find it super hard to like. It takes me like a year to finish a show.
Yeah, no kidding. Well, and that's why we're like kind of power watching through some seasons right now, because so many people out there are like, I'm super bored. I'm like, it'd be a nice feeling to be super bored. Like I know, like because you and I are like constantly crazy busy, but mostly kind of reinventing the wheel and just keeping everything going constantly. So like, I'm thinking of so many ideas. Like there's endless amount of ideas for health and fitness. So like,
yeah, for sure.
And it is fun.
Yeah.
But we should probably wrap it up. The moral of the story, I guess, is people need to watch more TV.
Right?
Or less TV. One of the two. It's one of the two.
Yeah, right. But just like, you know, like don't get to the point where like you got jars full of piss and you haven't shaved in like months. Like Howard Hughes.
Chucking them out the window, like.
Yeah, right. You know, yeah. Johnny Cash, I'll just throw some shit out the window. Second week in a row, I brought Johnny Cash up.
Yeah.
Let's walk for
Uh,
the Phoenix tip.
so I think next week we have some interesting topics. We don't have to tell anybody right now, but it won't be just TV. But I don't know. TV is the topic. Everybody I'm seeing on social media is posting about their different shows and everything like that. So they're really, really into it. It is unique that everybody's kind of with the streaming services really attaching themselves to a certain series. Where like when it was just cable TV, everybody had their own little favorite episodes, and it was hard to kind of mesh and vibe. So it's kind of like the old school days of like when you only had 3 channels, and you're
Right.
like, okay, I had to watch this. Did you like see the last episode of Cheers? And everybody's like, yeah.
Good old fucking Norm. But yeah, speaking of which, though, we're doing something pretty interesting with our YouTube channel.
Oh yeah. So if you guys want to check it out and subscribe, we're throwing up a 14-day challenge for HIIT workouts. Our podcast is up on there. What else do we have, Rob?
Yeah, so yeah, check out our podcast on Spotify, and then yeah, we're doing we already have content on there, so everyone at home, subscribe to TurnFit on YouTube. You know, we cover all sorts of topics ranging from like mindfulness. We're working with allied health professionals right now, from naturopaths to chiropractors. To people in like finance and real estate. So it's a collective effort to make sure that, you know, we want to try to be as much of a one-stop shop for a lot of different stuff, not just like fitness, but health too, right? So I think one of the big topics is mental health, you know what I mean? So we have a lot of resources there. We have a lot of exercise videos, you know, previous content. And then we are throwing up, I'm going to be throwing up like quick little hit style videos on our Instagram too. So at TurnFit. But then we have our 14-day challenges. Coupled with that is we have our revamped online training through the TurnFit app, which you can check it out at www.turnfit.ca. We have a few different options there for everyone who's working out at home that may be getting maybe a little bit tiresome from, you know, being inundated from maybe probably highly likely the same thing that you see on our main resources, Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram, with a lot of body weight stuff. So we make sure that like that stuff's great, but there's going to be a point where like if you've been a fitness advocate before, that stuff's good and, you know, changing things up and avoiding plateaus. But at the end of the day, it's run by real people like Dave and I and a few other trainers. So it is a programmed app, but we're actually behind the scenes making sure that you are set up properly through the program, through nutrition, exercise calendar, that's up and running. So again, check us out at turnfit.ca, sorry, at TurnFit on Instagram, and then YouTube, subscribe to the TurnFit. Check out our app at www.turnfit.ca. And then we also have our Facebook page where we're doing live workouts too, right, Dave?
Yeah, we're still doing our live workouts. We have a community of experts. We actually have like an abundance of content that we can't even put up online as fast as you guys want it. So we're still putting out like episodes in our community page on Facebook, at least. There's a couple of episodes. Sometimes it's a HIIT class taught live. Sometimes it's updates from a financial planner, a mortgage broker, chiro, physio, whatever you need. We have miniature episodes. We're taking those, throwing it up on YouTube for you. So make sure to subscribe to all the places that Rob was just saying and check it out. And yeah, like you said, the difference of our app, it's not just a standalone app that you just kind of like, oh, good, I have this, and then you get to forget about it. You have us nagging you and maybe encouraging you to hop on Zoom calls and actually customizing everything for you and throwing on the bonus stuff like extra classes and stuff like that that you might want to do, or maybe you want a personalized workout. Maybe you have more equipment at home and you don't have just body weight stuff. That's the huge difference. So we kind of cater to what you actually need.
And to someone to yell at you. Like if you need, like, I'll take the microphone and be like, put the fucking ice cream down. So like, you know, let's avoid the extra Corona calories the best we can. So it's accountability at the end of the day.
It's accountability. That's the main thing. What I've heard with lots of people, they're like, I like this app, but I don't use it. I used it at the beginning and I don't use it because I don't have the accountability. It's easy to put it in your calendar and tell yourself to work out. Actually doing it is different unless you have somebody like waiting for you to join that call.
Yeah, I feel hurt and neglected when that happens, since I'm actually just sitting there waiting behind the app. It's not just like an app. Like I'm like Lana. from Too Out to Handle, right?
Yeah.
You know, yeah. We should get Lana on the show.
Well, we'll see if we can do that. We can rig it up.
Yeah, right. Yeah, sexy voice Lana. Can I just date that voice? You know, all computerized. Like Max Room. I'm going way back, but yeah. So we got that, and then of course, TuneIn To TurnFit on Spotify and Podbean. I think is their other one that we're on.
Yeah, and I think iTunes soon.
Yeah, well, I haven't. Like, yeah, iTunes wants me to like change the picture format, but then it's there. So I'm like, because it's like through an RSP. So, anyways, I just haven't had the time. Yeah, going back, I've made several excuses about filming the classes. I will be up there soon. You can see like the beef. So I just flexed. I can't believe I just did that for everyone listening. But yeah, so I'll be there. You know, teaching some classes.
Yeah, so whatever questions you guys have, health or not health related, we'll answer. We'll have it either on a podcast or individually reach out to you and answer your questions. Yeah, I think that's pretty much it, right?
Yeah, man.
Okay, so hopefully before everybody falls asleep, we'll say good night or good morning or good afternoon, whatever you're doing when you're tuning in. Hopefully that you guys continue on our mission as well, which is creating a happier and healthier version of yourself. So stay happier and stay healthier.
Right. Happy hump day.